Hi, we are Group 5, and I'm Sophia Miar Hinoran, and I will to introduce about the group data that we have to discuss. So the six we have to discuss into solution in the group data is mean, median, mode, range, variance, standard deviation. So the means is the most common expression for the mean of the statistical distribution with a discrete random variable and the mathematical average of all the terms. Median, the median of the distribution with a discrete random variable depends on whether the number of terms in the distribution is even or odd. The mode is the mode of the distribution with a discrete random variable is the value of the terms that occurs the most often. Range is the range of the distribution with a discrete random variable is the difference between the maximum value and the minimum value. Variance is the term variance refers to the statistical measurement of the spread between numbers and a data set. Standard deviation. In statistics, standard deviation is a measure of the amount of variation or dispersion is a set of value. And then this is our frequency table. Is to use the 16 the group data, which is the mean, median, mode, range, variance, and standard deviation. Is our frequency table. So, and then let's start the mean.
So, hello everyone, my name is Bethany Bagnol from ABMA Providence. So, here are the grades in Maths 1 of ABMA Providence, the final grades rather. So, I discussed to you the how did I get the frequency table of group data and how did I get the result of the mean. So first, you should make first a frequency table. So as you can see, the column 1 is the number of order, which is I got it from the final grades of Maths 1. So I tally the grades and make it to frequency, which the 8 from between 80 to 85. The they they only got 2, and the 86 to 90 are the frequency of 18, and 91 to 95 is 12, 96 to 100 is 2. So I so here from the column 2 it is the frequency. So I total the frequency and the results is 34. The total frequency is 34. How did I get the midpoint? So first, you should add the highest row plus the lowest row and divide it by 2. So here from 80 to 85 is add it by 85 plus 80 and divide it by 2, which is the result of 82.5 from the column 4, which is the frequency and the midpoint. So how did I get this? So first you should multiply the frequency and the midpoint, which is the 2 times 83 or 82.5 is equal to 664. And the second is 18 times 88, which I got 1584, and 12 times 93 is 1116, and 2 times 98 is equal to 196. So add it 3560. So from the column 5, how did I get the class boundaries? So how did I get the 79.5? So here from the number of order, you should subtract the 80 minus 0.5, which is equal to 79.5. And here from the highest row, which is the 85, I add the 85 plus 0.5. I got the 85.5. The same goes by the 86 to 9. The 86, which is minus it with 0.5, which I got the 85.5, and the 90, which I add the 0.5, which I got it also 90.5, and 91 minus 0.5, which is 90.5, and then the 95, and the 95 I plus 0.5, which is 95.5, and the 96 minus 5 is 95.5, and lastly the 100 plus 0.5 is plus 0.5 is 100.5 from the cumulative frequency. So I the 2, at first I copied the 2 in the frequency, but then I added to 18. That's what I got 20. And also 12, 20 plus 12 is 34, and 32, what I mean, and 32 plus 2 is equal to 34. So as you can see, it is the same total of frequency of the cumulative frequency. So if it is not the same as the frequency, the cumulative frequency, you compute it wrong. So it should be the same as the total frequency in the cumulative frequency. So here the formula of the mean is the summation of frequency and midpoint. The formula of mean is the summation of midpoint over the total frequency. So the summation of midpoint is the 36. What I mean is 3,560 over 34. So I divide it these two, the 3,560 divided by 34. So that's what I got, 104.71.
Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Seneza from ABMA 11 Providence. I am here to explain how to find the median. So here are the grades in Math 1 of ABMA Providence. This is the list of grade, the list of frequency, and the list of cumulative frequency. How to find CS? Well, copy the 2 in F, then add 18 so equals 20, then add 12 so equals 32, then add 2 so equals 34. Then get the total of this equals to 34, then divide it in 2, so equals 17. Then find a number in cumulative frequency greater than 17, so equals 20, then box it. Then the formula is median is equal to L plus half of N minus F over Fm times C. By the way, the L is the lower boundary, N is total of frequency, F is total frequency above box, then Fm is the frequency on box, then C is the class interval size. How to find the L is equal to copy the 85 above in box, then copy the 86, then divide it in 2, so equals to 85.5. Copy the N, so this is 34, then F is equals to 2, since F is the total frequency above box, then Fm is 18, since Fm is the frequency on box, then C is equals to upper boundary minus lower boundary. The upper boundary is 85, then add 0.5, so equals 90.5. Then copy the lower boundary this, so equals 90.5 minus 85.5, so equals 5. Then the median is equals to L plus half of N minus F over Fm times C. Then change the variable into number. So M is equal 85.5 plus half of 34 minus 2, then divided by 18 times 5. M is equals to 85.5 plus 0.83 plus 5. M is equals to 85.5 plus 4.15. So the median is M is equals to 89.65.
Hi, I'm Sophia Mehinuran from 11 ABMA Providence, and I'm here to discuss all about the mode of growth data. So this is our frequency to use to get the solution of the mode data. So you have to find the frequency. So this is our frequency, and then we have to find the highest frequency, so which is the 18, and then after that is is the code. If you after you find the frequency is this line is the code, the class mode. Yes, and then after that is to give the given. So our Elmo is the 85.5. Why? Because these are our lower boundaries, lower class boundaries, 85.5. And then the D1 is the 18 minus 2 equals 16. Because like 18. And then is to get the 16 is you have to minus 2. Yes. So this final answer the D1. And then the D2 is the 6. Why is 6? Because we have to subtract again the 18 and then after the 18, which is the 12. And then our initial is a 5. So these are given. And then after to give the given, we have to get the formula. So our formula is Elmo plus D1 over D1 plus D2 and initial. So you have the first is you have to substitute the formula of the given to substitute. So the Elmo is the 85.5 plus our D1 is 16 over our D1 is 16 plus our D2 is 6 and our initial is 5. So it's to get the mode, you have to first to like the parentheses, you have to first to solution. So 16 plus 6 is equals 22. So and sorry, to divide the 16 is equals 0.7272, and then times initial, which is our 5. So answer is 3.636. So and then adding the Elmo, our class boundary, lower boundaries, which is the 85.5. So this is our final answer, is 89.13. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Crystal Amancio from 11 ABMA Providence and here how to compute range. At first, this is the grades of 11A Providence and frequency, class mark, and class mean. At the last is total number frequency. So to get the range, subtract the highest grades and the lowest grades. The highest grades is 97 and the lowest grades is 80. So 97 divide 80 equals 17.
Hello everyone, I am Carmel Grace Villanueva from 11 ABMA Providence. I am here to present to you how to get variance. And first, this is the grade in Math 1 of ABMA 11 Providence. And this column is the grades, and this one is the frequency, and this one is the class mark, and this one is the product of frequency in the class mark. And this column is the deviation from the mean, and this column is the square of the deviation, and this last column is the product of the frequency and the square of the deviation. First is to get the class mark. How do we get the class mark? So here in the grades column, 96 plus 100 divided by 2 equals 98. 91 plus 95 equals 186 divided by 2, so equals 93. So in the product of frequency in the class mark, we must times the frequency and the class mark. So 2 times 98 equals 196. 12 times 93 equals 1116. 18 times 88, 1584. And 2 times 82.5 equals 165. So we need to sum up this frequency, this product of frequency rather. So the total of 3061. For the deviation from the mean, we must find the mean first. So I have here the formula for the mean. So the summation of product of frequency and the frequency. So since we have the summation of the frequency 3061 divided by the frequency 34, so we have the total of 90.3. So to get our deviation from the mean, since we have the mean, what we have to do is to subtract the class mark and the mean. So 98 minus 90.3 equals 7.97, and 93 minus 90.03 equals 2.97, and so on. For the square root of the deviation, it's obviously squared, so 7.97 times 7.97 equals 63.52. 2 times 2.97 times 2.97 equals 8.82. And for the product of the frequency and the square of the deviation is to multiply the frequency and the square of the deviation. So 2 times 63.52 equals 127.4. So, and 12 times 8.82 equals 105.84, and so on. So we must sum up the product of the frequency square of the deviation. So 44. For the variance, here is the formula. So the product of the frequency and the square of the deviation divided by frequency minus 1. So since we have our summation of product of the frequency and the square of the deviation is 420.44, so we must put here 420.44 and divided by 34 for our frequency, and since we have minus 1 for our formula, so 34 minus 1 equals 33, so we must put 420.44 divided by 33, so we have the result of 12.74. So our variance is 12.74.
Good morning, everyone. We are going to find the standard deviation. So how are we going to find the standard deviation? First, I'm going to explain this upper part. These are the students' grade in Math 1 of ABMA 11 Providence. My previous member already discussed the grades, frequency, class mark, class frequency times class mark minus mean, class mark minus mean squared, frequency times class mark minus mean squared. So they are already explained this upper part, so we are going to find the standard deviation. But before we going to start to find the standard deviation, we are going to look for the total of frequency times class mark minus mean squared. So the total of 406 or 405.88 round to 406. So the formula of standard deviation is as square root of frequency times class mark minus mean squared divided by the frequency, total frequency minus 1. So our total of frequency times class mark minus mean square is 406 divided by the total of frequency minus 1, and that would be 33. So 406 divided by 33 is equals to 12.303030, and so on. So how are we going to find our standard deviation? We are going to solve this. Square root of 12.303030 and so on is equal to 3.5. So our standard deviation is 3.5.